Hey guys, hey everyone. I asked last time during our previous release if this is too many events, and you're like, no, not enough, let's do more. And so, even though this event is a little bit later than we were hoping for, we're hoping to host something like this last week, but we decided to give it a little bit more time and just go for a killer release. And we're super excited to welcome all of you here. I think we can go ahead and start. We have plenty of people here. And I know this release has been super exciting, and lots of people talk a lot about this. So let's go ahead and kick it off, Pankel.
All right. So let me. All right. So a little background about this release, right? And there's a blog post that goes out right after this webinar, so you guys can check it out on how to use this feature and why we decided to build out this feature. There was a problem with the previous quick wins. It was doing the job, but it was doing it from a perspective of creating new content, which means that you have to rework the entire thing, right? Now that takes time, that takes energy, that takes a lot of rework, rethinking, and it often gets pushed aside. So what we wanted to do was help you guys accelerate with keywords that are low hanging fruits, right? And they're not essentially all on the second page, they can be also on the first page. You have lower CTR, right? Like many things can be stopping a page from moving into that top rank, right? So you are like below 5, but somewhere like less than 25. We analyzed quite a few of sites, and what we noticed was about 20% of keywords that your website totally ranks for. Like if your website is ranking for 100 keywords, about 20% of those keywords lie in this range of 5 and 25. And like your 2% keywords will rank in that top 3 positions or top 5 positions. So you're missing out on that 20% of keywords which you can quickly improve and then accelerate. But that doesn't really mean that you have to go and change tons of content, add tons of things, right? Like rethink the entire strategy and then come to optimizing the content. So what we thought was, what are some of the ways, right, that you can quickly accelerate this rankings for this low hanging fruits and focus on those things only? And this comes from experience. We made many experiences with this blogs, previous companies we've worked with, to come up with a concise plan that we used to try on ongoing basis to improve the ranking of a page. And we've started incorporating all of these into a new feature which is called actions. So no more quick wins, this is actions. We want you to take actions and optimize your content today, not after 10 days of reworking the content, right? So that is what we're going to focus on. And in order to collect the best data to suggest you this, really good suggestions, we need most accurate data. That's why we have Google Analytics. We've started with Google Analytics. We'll give you utilities to upload your own content to, but to really accelerate, this is what you really need, and you will need to be an owner of a Google console or Google Analytics account, and we can grab data from it in real time and start building up suggestions from it. So let's get right into it. And don't think of this as in like set and done. It still needs human intervention, but it will use increasing amount of AI to suggest you things that will get you closer to moving in the top 5, or at least that first page. Okay, so you can connect your analytics account, and I already have an account connected. So you'll see all your domains that you can connect with. You can also filter the data by country, which is what we recommend that you do. And we recommend that you pull data for any project that you are creating in Outranking. You created for the last 7 days, out of which 2 or 3 days are not even going to be recorded, but that's okay. Console now has as far as it can look, as far as like 13 to 26 hours back, right? It's like you're only missing 1 day of data. So keep this default and then create a new project. The project literally just takes 30 seconds to be created. And then once the project is created, let's click on it, open it. This is your console data that we pulled out. uh, the magic here is finding the right keywords that you can add to your optimizer, so you can start working on them, right? So you want to be focusing on the right things, you just don't want to focus on anything. So there's some really powerful sorting data that you will be able to use. So let's click on here. And for the sorting, right? Like, so I want to sort out everything that has, I want to get everything that has SEO. You can add multiple filters to even drill down more data and get into that right state, right? So now we are going to find out, we're going to drill down by position. And I'm going to drill down from 6 to 20. Okay. And then now let's go by volume, right? So here we can start seeing what we really want to focus on in order to get that position going. If you're if you're targeting certain keywords where there's high CPC, you can start drilling down into CPC terms, right? Like identifying which ones you should be really going after, where you're spending more money, and stuff like that. And then you can click on track. So at a time while we are in beta, will allow you to track only 50 keywords. But as we progress, this numbers will change. But while it is fetching, I've already added. So this has already been fetched. Like it already got my newest position, it got my page rank, and now it's trying to collect more data. But it's creating a checklist score, and we'll get to that later. Now let's understand what happens in the optimizer. What optimizer is doing is it's trying to create suggestions that will help you improve your page rank and some on-page SEO elements, very minor ones that emphasize the keyword a little more that you're trying to rank for. So we'll see how that goes, right? We've added this keywords now here. Now what can happen is, let's go to settings. It will start tracking your data every 3 days, right? So every 3 days, this position and page rank data will update, and you should start seeing this chart move and potentially get notifications, when there are certain things that are happening in your favor or not. You can group. So these are the suggestions that we've collected, we are giving you, and there will be more in the list, right? But the suggestions can be grouped into teams as well. So if you work in a very big team where you are potentially creating the content, someone else is editing it, and then someone else is publishing, the task that you do on page can be divided essentially into these 3 teams, right? So you don't want to be doing everything yourself. So this allows you to group your task into those teams and automate optimization briefs so you can send them what they need to work on. So for very large sites with extensive approval processes, you can bypass this by sending things that web team can do without having to get the content team involved at all and improve that page's ranking in real time. So, and we can track everything as well. So let's close this out. And we'll click on, so this one has dipped-in ranking, both the other ones are mapped in, and these are the new checklists that I just created. Let's optimize it. Now for optimization, if you see the info, it will show you how your page rank has moved and your positions have moved. And in the checklist item, you will see the list of curated items. And these are only the gaps that we are suggesting, right? So you can look through the gaps. And the first thing that you see is content team. So these are the suggestions that we've curated for the content team, which is not something that you want to focus on as the first step if your content is ranking at like 7 or 8 position, right? Like you just want to move it up. So you want to be focusing on the web team. And there are no current web team suggestions, but this last 2. So now what really happens is that what we are suggesting is that, hey, you're at this position. In order for you to move up without having to change your content, these are some things that you can really do. You can optimize your images and alt tags with the right keyword, and you can improve your CTR. So now we can track how do you improve your CTR. So these are some suggestions that we are giving you for this particular title, that, hey, you can add a superlative word in the title, you can add a number, you can add a brackets. And there's research behind how this improves the CTR. Improving CTR will make more people click on your page, even if it is in the bottom of the page, and help you move up the ranking, because now Google will think that, hey, people are finding your content more useful, and that's something that they want to read, right? So you have to be a little granular in this. It can also pull in external links that you need to be linking with, links that can improve your page rank to get it rank up higher, automatically curated in the best possible scenario. It can also suggest videos from your YouTube channel if you have it, or other YouTube channels that are coinciding with it. This can go and find YouTube videos from even your company channel or any YouTube videos if they don't find on your company channel and suggest some videos to include in the content. But let's say you have drilled down to a few, right? Like I don't want to consider adding video for this thing, but I want to improve my page rank. So I added this to my optimization brief. Now I don't want to do anything here. I want to improve my CTR, so I'm going to add this to my optimization brief as well, right? So now what you're really doing is you're curating this list of suggestions for a particular keyword. But guess what? This cannot work every time, right? Like, so you might want to optimize one page for multiple keywords at the same time so you don't have to keep reworking this from every different angle, right? That is why I created this example. Let's click on this example and you will see that I have many things that I can do, right? Like I need to add schema markup. I need to optimize my images for this particular topic. It's already ranking. So doing this will definitely make it rank up higher. So I've added all of these three things in my list to improve on the particular page to my planner. Now, what I can do is I can go to my optimization brief and look at that document and see the keywords that I need to optimize for this URLs. So if your planning is correct, your optimizer is correct, it will start curating that list and giving you this entire concise information in a proper format. And now just download the PDF, open the PDF, send it to your team, send it across, and you're good to go. So the suggestions for web team can literally be implemented by someone who's just publishing your content on the website, right? So those are some very, very, very easy things to do that you can curate a list and execute upon. And this is what the entire content brief is. It's about tracking and improving ranking of websites, who's bringing in a great amount of organic traffic, and how do you really improve that 200, 300% in a year, right? Like, how do you really go about doing this? This is how you go about doing it, improving the page rank, improving CTR, and some important elements on the page that you don't essentially do when you do many of that, but you won't essentially know until your content starts ranking where your pitfalls are. So this is something that not many people do, and the ones that do it see really, really, really amazing results. And many of these
Uncle, there
elements
are
can
a
be.
couple of questions. Let's answer those questions. If that is okay?
Yes, sounds good.
Paul is asking, clarify Google Search Console or Google Analytics is what you need to connect.
So you need to connect Google Search Console primarily, and Google Analytics integration is in the works as well. Right behind it, there is a typo over there, but it is Google Console.
Samarjit is asking, what about YouTube? How does it find the videos?
What Outranking really does is that it'll go and first find your channel based on the URL that we are optimizing for. So we know which company you belong to. Let's go find if we can find videos for you. If we don't, then we start looking at something else that has been generating some views in YouTube and suggest you based on that. So it's trying to first look at what you have and then go to other places.
Is it possible to white label the optimization brief?
That's what we are getting to. Yes, absolutely. This is a minor release that will happen during the weekend with a few other things that we've noticed after we went live.
How to connect different Google Search Console for each individual document.
So you can, right? Like, so not individual document, right? Like it's individual projects. So what you can do is when you're creating the project, and if you have multiple domains listed under your Search Console, you'll see all the domains, right? So pick the domain that you want to go. I only have connected one with me, but you can have like 10, 15, 20, as many as you want.
Let's talk about how people can get access to it. So right now, if you log in into Outranking and then you go to Actions, you'll see that you need to request access to email to support, which is very quickly is going to change, hopefully in the next 24 hours. And then it is an additional charge. So because it's basically a whole new feature. And right now it is a discounted rate of $69 per month for this feature. which is going to go
So
up in the next couple of weeks.
yeah. So the reason, right? Like, so understand, like, we're getting tons of other types of data that we essentially aren't getting when we are collecting a document. So this requires a different set of skills, different set of, and this is a gated product for even our regular plans. Like everyone, it is gated. Unless it is like requested specifically. So we're trying to be fair with everyone, but this should really help you accelerate 2-3 times your traffic, if you're consistently creating content every month. It includes tracking of 100 keywords monthly. That means you can add 100 keywords to across multiple projects, or all in one project, up to you. You can untrack it and track other keywords into different projects. So at a time, like, simultaneously, you can work on 100 keywords. And so one thing that I really missed was, like, how do you really know that I should be stopped working on this project, right? When your rank improves and the suggestions that we suggested you were implemented, you will automatically see your task gone to green. It will tell you all your tasks are complete and that you can move on. So at that point in time, your tracking should be done. If your rank improved, you can take it out and add it to a different project.
All right, I think we answered majority of the questions about specifically actions. Let's move on.
All right. Okay, so let's go back to editor and we'll look at some important changes here as well. So we've added 3 things over here. We've added custom briefs, right? So I've created a custom brief. We have improved the first thing in the AI wizard is the quality of titles that are being generated. We are trying to follow best practices and create these titles which have the unique point of view, as well as it's targeting the right keywords. Having a unique point of view in these titles will help you create content which has a unique point of view, and that is what we've like enhanced throughout the journey in the AI wizard, whether it's premium draft or whether it is content brief. So for this example, we're taking content brief. So let's click next and generate some meta description here, and we'll click next. And here is the major amount of enhancements that we made. So the entire H2 ideas now will bring in a unique point of view along with the keywords and generate much better outlines. So this is the new outline. And everything that you see here is from a unique point of view really matters now when you're trying to create content. So you're not like repetitively using same things from SERP and elaborating upon that, but having a unique point of view while still targeting all the good, all the NLP terms and along with the right keywords will help you rank your content, just because the quality or the information on that particular post will be quite different than what you'd find, but it's still targeting the same keywords and the same NLP terms. So this is a major enhancement, and you will see this enhancements in H3 tags as well. Let's delete all of these things and we'll just generate the factual research for this. The factual research now for premium draft and content briefs is much different. Content brief drives it towards doing a little more research on your side, but coming up with the ideation and a structure of, and like really focusing on structure of your blog post, right? This is what it's suggesting that you write your pension funds on. It's not going to give extensive amount of data. It's going to give you much concise amount of data, but this is because we are building the brief. So you can then elaborate and build your entire brief and pass on to the writers who will be creating content on it. Okay, so while this is generating, like, so this is done, right? And this is my entire content brief that I generated on automation. But all right, so this are the improvements that we made on content brief as well. You should be able to access your content brief from outside of this menu. You should be able to now assign roles to the team members that you are working with, project manager, SEO managers, and you can also automate this. So There we go. It's already shared. I don't need to click a few buttons to get to where I want. Okay, so this are the part of enhancements from the perspective of data and some workflow enhancements as well as content brief. And I just want to quickly show something that many people have missed and how that works. And we did that in 7.7. So I'm just going to quickly reiterate on that. But we've added topic clustering on the content that you see over here. So if you see a number over here, that means that those are that's how many variations we have of agreements in the ranking content. If you click on it, it will show the cluster associated with agreement in from all the ranking content. So, and you can click back and just go back to it. This is something that you guys might have missed, so play around with it and you'll get a better idea of that. Okay, lastly, I wanted to show our WordPress plugin. So, not great enhancements to the UX, but the underlying utilities are much more powerful now. You can click on settings and add your API key. You can search through documents. So I've like this is the document that I want to insert as your team document, and I will click enter, and it will start searching for it, finding the document. Now all I have to do is click insert. What this is doing is it's inserting the content from Outranking in here, keeping all the SEO best practices in mind, moving all your images, keeping all the alt tags, adding no follow on external links, all of that on automation. So you can reduce the time it takes to get the post ready. All right, we'll go back here. And I think I covered all of it.
Awesome. Anyone try the new UI here? Because we have made a couple of changes here to feature the optimization and content briefs here. So if you work in the team, be sure to check it out. All right, we do have a couple of questions. Specifically, Jason is very impatiently wants to know about the WordPress plugin. Does it support content that is in page builder editors such as Divi or Elementor?
No, not yet, right? Like that's gonna be a problem. Like exporting out is not a problem, but importing anything into structuring that kind of stuff will take a little more time. So this is mostly for long form content, right? So we're focusing on blog post only at the moment.
Samarjit is asking, in the future, can Outranking suggest which topics to write next so that we can interlink?
Oh man, yes, that's a content strategy feature, and I will not declare much on it just yet. But you can take the hint.
Dab is asking, what if the unique point of view is not what you feel is going within the direction you want to focus on, and you already use the credits?
You can adjust it, right? Like that's why we have Wizard, where you can manually control everything that you do, right? So you are going to have to use a mix of AI generated ideas along with what's in the SERP, which will keep you much more focused. And that should be the point.
And that your question was specifically concerning the credits, like I've already used the credits. So that's why we implemented the research part, which previously we only had like premium draft or first draft, and now have this research. This step, you can make sure that you delete anything that doesn't make sense, and then you actually end up using less credits because there's not a lot of rewriting and writing over and over again, because you already have the research and basically the outline and all the concepts that you want to talk about in your final piece.
Absolutely. And like even when we're collecting these questions, right, that we're showing in the outline, which is where the unique point of view starts, because you're now like constructing your content a slightly different than what your competition is doing. You're still not deterring away. It's still using the right keywords and NLP phrases to pass it to give it enough context as to what you need to cover. So it's doing that already. It's like we've trained with the AI with better data to allow us to give that point of view, which is most important to the users, not only what other people are writing about, right? So the approach should be, hey, how can I do better than them, but also have what they have. So this is the way that you'd go about doing that.
Amir is asking, can I turn off content brief altogether? Even with existing setup, you can bypass content brief.
So if you are in the blog post now, it will by default have the settings which allow you to create the premium draft altogether. So you don't need to change any settings or anything like that. You can just keep creating that. So let's click on this and we'll look at what happens in the AI wizard and all the settings around it. It will maintain that. So you have two different workflows that you can use without having to edit anything. So let's go to AI wizard. And if you see, it's factual research, right? So it's asking you to research first, which is great. When you go here, it has premium draft selected. So you create premium draft. But for content brief, premium draft is missing, right? So it just has its own workflow. You should be still able to do everything that you would be able to do before.
Roger is asking, does the new system give suggestions on related keywords LSI in addition to the main keyword suggestions in that audit report?
Yes, in actions, right. It does LSI keywords, but not other peripheral keywords. So understand, this is why you need to understand, how do you optimize your existing content? You're already ranking for this keyword. You're already meeting majority of the intent signals to be on that first 20 pages. Your goal shouldn't be to cover more topics, more content, more, all of these other things. You're going to have to add content, insert into the content. You're meeting quite a bit of interest right there. So this would be my last resort in optimization if I'm not able to make a dent with all the other things that I can do. But sure, right? Like we're suggesting NLP and we are suggesting the LSI keywords, not related keywords, because related keywords is what you are picking to optimize for as a single path, for the content brief. If you curate multiple keywords that you want to optimize for, your brief will have that information automatically, right? So let's go ahead and click here and optimize. And we see that, all right, so this is the keyword that we're optimizing it for. And I'm going to my optimization brief. So you see that we're optimizing for two keywords for the same topic. So when my brief is printed out, it will automatically group the items that belong in the respective categories. So you can, when you pass the brief, you can say that, hey, not only include this and this and this keywords, but also include this and this, which are ranking for some other keywords. So it can help you build out that brief over here.
Tab is asking, will we ever be able to go backwards in the process and add it? Say we are on key points number 4 and we realize our title needs editing to go back to number 1 title and add it?
Yeah, you should be able to, right? Just click on top and you should be able to navigate back and forth. So if you're here, you feel like you want to change your title, you want to change your description, you can. But if you want to generate everything based on that title again, then you're going to have to generate everything again because that's.
So you just click the AI wizard button. Can you show it on the right in the platform? If you close this and then just show AI wizard. There you go. That's the button on the right. Fred is asking, so the subscription is completely different from the Outranking subscription?
Yes, this subscription is completely different from regular Outranking subscription. And yes, this is meant for high velocity websites or people who really are doing this, full time and want to accelerate their traffic and all sorts of things around it, right? So it is for a set of audiences, and that is why this is an additional plan on top of what we already have.
Mark is asking, if he subscribes and then cancels, will the price stay the same if the price go up? No, the price is not going to stay the same. Sorry, guys. We've been trying to accommodate as much as possible, especially with the previous releases.
Right. And this needs to be an ongoing project. I would advise you to create optimization projects every month on things that really matter to your business, right? For us, content, SEO, and writing matters a lot, right? So 1 month I'm optimizing some of my content focused keywords where we are spending money in ads, versus the other times we're doing SEO. Like, so it really depends on your focus, but you should be creating many of these projects. And if you are an agency and you have many clients that you work with on ongoing basis to do this, you should definitely connect all of this, all of your accounts over here, create individual projects, and give them this optimization reports or briefs so that their teams can facilitate in a better way, right? Like, you can guide them with a single brief without having to spend hours on writing what you need to do in order to improve a page. You do this enough times and the client is never going to leave you. So this is, this is a very powerful, if you are really doing this either full time or to make a living.
Pankil, there was a little bit misunderstanding about the WordPress plugin. So people are asking, will the images are also going to be imported together with the alt tags?
Yes, the images will automatically get imported. It will save into your WordPress. The alt tags that you've added in Outranking will automatically be imported, as well as it will try to put meaningful names to the images that you uploaded as well.
Is there a limit to the number of projects you can create?
No, there is no limit, but there will be limit on how many keywords you can track, right? So, and yes, so for a smaller plan, there are 100 keywords you can track on an ongoing basis, and you can untrack a keyword to add another keyword in a different project and manage all of that. That's okay too. But at a time, every 3 days, we will check 100 keywords for this plan. This is still significant enough if your site is ranking for, let's say, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10,000 keywords at a time. So you should be able to even manage projects like that.
Kevin is asking, what happens to the previous sections that we had there?
Oh, those quick wins. Yeah. So those were projects which were still imported data. If you did anything over there, you likely created a document. Your documents are still there, just those projects are gone, right? Like, so understand the reason why we decided to remove that is because that data is old, right? Like, it's not giving me the picture of my site right now. So my optimization efforts and everything that I am doing around it is lagged. That doesn't really help me, and it's not the right way to go about optimizing the content. So we had to rethink our strategy. If it's not something that we can do, we wouldn't want you to do so. That's why we really revisited this entire feature and made it more powerful. So yes, you don't have those projects anymore, but you should be able to still have all the documents that you created for optimization using those projects.
Can you explain internal linking process with anchors once again? Do we have anything on YouTube? I don't remember.
We have optimization, and there's also a bootcamp session on internal linking. But your internal linking, right? So you are giving relevant links out and you're getting relevant links in. And what does relevance means? Relevance means the content that you have on each of those pages and the text that you are adding to interlink these pages. The text that you are interlinking with should be targeting the keyword that you want to rank for. This is the dynamics behind it. And the page that you essentially get an internal link from should have much higher page rank, so it can actually help you improve the ranking of other pages. This is the simplest answer to that. Where do we get the API key? I will not click on my API key and reveal it here, but settings, you should be able to get your API keys.
People are asking a little bit explanation about the $69 plan for actions and what it includes.
It includes tracking of 100 keywords monthly. That means you can add 100 keywords to across multiple projects or all in one project, up to you. You can untrack it and track other keywords into different projects. So at a time, like simultaneously, you can work on 100 keywords. And so one thing that I really missed was, like, how do you really know that I should be stopped working on this project, right? When your rank improves and the suggestions that you have, that we suggested you were implemented, you will automatically see your task gone to green. It will tell you all your tasks are complete and that you can move on. So at that point in time, your tracking should be done. If your rank improved, you can take it out and add it to a different project.
Perfect. If we missed any questions, go ahead and drop them one more time. Does Outranking use a different metrics compared to RankMath? Kevin is getting 100% on Outranking and 50% on RankMath.
RankMath does not check for semantically related keywords, on-page elements, does not perform the SEO, the on-page NLP analysis of the amount of pages and the amount of data that we recognize, right? Like it's a tool that will generate the data in less than 10 seconds, right? Then they're looking at much different metrics than we are looking at. We're looking like literally the content, like going into it and looking all those pages that are ranking. So much different. If Outranking is saying that you got 100, then blindly close your eyes and publish it. If you have decent authority and you work on improving PageRank, it will definitely rank.
Clement has a question. Can you speak to the thinking for limiting to 100 keywords per month?
So you can space that out however you want, okay? It's not per project. You can space out those 100 keyword throughout, like, your multiple projects. If you're managing like 5 websites, you can split 20, 20, 20, 20 into 5 of those websites, right? Like, and keep optimizing them. Once you are done with, let's say, 5 keywords in each of those sections, you can potentially add that to the queue of a different project. And you can do that. We're doing capacity planning. So right now, like this feature does track a lot of things on an ongoing basis, right? Like we're going and getting like checking your rank data in real time every 3 days, right? Like we're checking your page rank data in real time. So like we need to do capacity planning too. So we're starting with 100, and when it makes sense, we'll increase the limits too. But for higher plans, there will be much more keywords allowed for you to start creating this optimization briefs.
All right. It's been an amazing, very engaging conversation, as usual. What if we need more than 100 keywords?
Let's talk. Absolutely.
Email support. Again, we just rolled out, we just tested waters, okay? So you let us know what you need. When you say you're offering a trial, is this a free trial? For how long is the trial? What are the limits? Honestly, Michael, like initially we were not planning to offer a trial. You just go for it. You just buy the subscription and then you can refund if you don't like it. Punkil just said that you can, email support. We haven't thought about this, but like if you're not confident, I don't know, probably like a week or two. We have not thought this through, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
All right, and this is it, looks like. So for now, if you want to get access to actions, you go to your dashboard and then click the actions tab, and then you'll see that you need to email support at Outranking. Hopefully in the next few hours, we're going to change that to you actually able to get access right away after adding the add-on to your account so that you can bypass this request. We'll see how it goes. We will keep everyone updated in the group. Anything else we forgot to talk about? All right, and that is it, everyone. Really excited for you all to test it out. Would love to hear your comments and feedback. If you have a case study to share, if you have some good results, reach out to me or just post it in the group, and then would love to feature you in a few of our public places if you're open to that. If no, then we can keep it private as well, but any feedback is highly appreciated.
Ready.
And I think that's it. Everyone, look forward to chatting with you in our group, and then see you. Oh, by the way, we host 2 sessions every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are for newbies. Thursdays are going to be for a little bit more advanced. If you go to our website and then head over to resources and then webinars, you can register for our Zoom sessions just in case you are just starting out with Outranking.
Got it.
All right.
Thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful weekend. See you guys.
Bye, everyone.